All right, give me a disaster story. Do you have a disaster story?
Let's see. I used to do a thing where I'd have everybody in the audience, I deputize them because I'm going to tell a secret, but it wasn't really a secret, but I was going to tell them a secret and share it, teach them a trick. And I would tell everybody to raise your right hand. Everybody raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. So this guy raised his left hand. And I was like, no, sir. Put that down. I want you to raise your right hand. He didn't have a right hand.
Oh.
His entire arm was missing.
No.
And it's like, I said, okay, everybody but this guy, raise your right hand. Sir, you can raise your left hand. And it got a little bit of a laugh, and I thought, I can't do that anymore. That one hurt me. That felt really bad.
Well, and you're in the rhythm of the show, and people do make mistakes, and you're in the rhythm, and you just yell that out, and then it just hits you like a ton of bricks. I can't imagine.
Oh my gosh! And there was uncomfortable laughter. They felt really sorry for me. And from now on, I just say I need everybody to raise a hand.
Yeah.
And I don't care which hand you raise. In fact, if you don't raise a hand, I'm not going to call on you.
Yeah, right.
No harm. I can't afford. Yeah, I don't want my audience to ever feel bad,
right?
But at an expense of a laugh or anything. So, yeah, that was one that I will always remember. But see, that automatically rewrote part of my show for me. So that was good. There was another horror story where, and this was in Italy, by the way. I ended up taking a train from Bologna to Milan, and I get into Milan, by the way, the train station there is arguably one of the largest train stations in the world. It's, larger than a football field. It's just huge. And so I get off the train, and I'm thinking, my guy's going to be there, and he's going to say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm going to be, your host or driver or whatever. And I get off the train, I've got these large bags of luggage, and there's nobody there to meet me, and the flow is just, it's just this mass of people. So, okay, I go along with the flow. I go to the main area that, like I said, it's just huge. It's gigantic. And I go up against one of these columns, and I'm standing there, and I'm probably standing there for 20 minutes, and I'm thinking, is this guy outside? Is he waiting for me in a car outside? Now, this was before cell phones. And so I was like, I don't know where, is he in here somewhere? If I go out there looking for him, is he going to come in looking for me? We're going to miss each other? Am I going to spend the rest of my life in this train station? Because I don't know how to contact this guy. And so I pulled out a deck of cards, and I started doing some fans. I started doing like the Sybil cut, and some people started watching me. And so then I decided I don't care if they don't speak English. Maybe English is fairly popular in Europe, so I launched into, shooting cards up in the air, catching them, and then going around and having people select cards, having people name cards out loud, and having them pop out of the deck and come out of my mouth, and I just started jazzing. And I ended up with about maybe 20, 25 people in like a semicircle, because my back and my bags were by this big column. I didn't want my bags to get stolen. It would just be another great part of it.
Icing on the cake, yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so I'm doing all this stuff, and I've created this little, it's almost like busking, really. But I had them laughing, applauding, and yelling. And this guy comes walking straight through the crowd, comes right up to me and says, I am so glad you did that. And so he was my guy. He didn't know how to find me.
Wow.
And so we had both lost each other. We had no clue how to get together, and magic ended up saving my life.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Wow.
So I'm very happy that I studied, the Chris Kenner book and learned Sybil and some of that stuff, the pre-cardistry things.
Well, I learned in this podcast that you used to do stage. Do you still do stage magic? You said you competed in the stage. I know you as a close-up parlor guy.
Yeah, no, my stage routine, I had a version of shooting the, sign card out of the air with a dart gun, the Chad Long thing.
Okay.
I would do the in over her head, the rope trick, the Steve Bedwell rope trick, and I produce a bowling ball, out of an empty bag. Would make my head expand and contract with no covering whatsoever. And just, it was a lot of zany. There's just a huge lot of zany stuff, but it's, it's stage stuff, but not, I never did Grand Illusion. I never did doves. I would never work with animals that could either die or poop on me.
That's a good rule.
That's funny. I got to tell you, it's tragic, but a dead dove can be very, very funny if you do it right. I actually
Johnny Thompson
came up with an idea for a FISM act. It was the Dead Dove Act, and it was every bird. I come out and I say, I'm sorry, I'm late. My car got impounded, and I haven't been able to really check on things. But you guys are here for a show, so let's get this going. And they would reintroduce me, and I'd come out, and every dove that I would produce was either dead or dying. Now, they're not, before everybody gets mad, they're not real doves. They were either mechanical or they were fake in some way. And at the very end, I actually produced one real, actual, live dove that I take and, do the kiss and turn and throw it up in the air. And it hits like a ceiling fan and just explodes in feathers.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So, but no animals are harmed, none whatsoever. So,
it's a trick.
It was a comedy, obviously, a very politically incorrect comedy act that I think would still be funny, and it would still play in most parts of the world at magic conventions, but not for normal humans.
And normal humans are the ones that pay the bills.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm lucky enough that magicians have been one of my best clients. I've been very fortunate to do lecture tours and then go to conventions and either do MC stuff or be part of the show. And I love performing for magicians because you can do some inside jokes and you can do some things. And I learned when I went to 4F, which is nothing but, heavy hitters. These are some of the best sleight of hand guys in the world. And I still wonder to this day why they wanted to include me.
Wow. No, you're awesome. You're awesome.
Thanks. I realized the number one thing was you don't have to fool magicians. You just don't want to waste their time.
Yeah.
So if it's fun, like Fantasio went from Fantasio to Funtasio, and was doing comedy magic, because his Fantasio stuff, with his wife, was doing the candles, and it was all manipulations, and it was a lot like a lot of other people's stuff. Even though he was doing original things with original products, it got really original when he went to Funtasio and it was comedy, but it was takes on classic pieces of magic, and that I thought, okay, that's the way comedy magic should be. You don't have to fool people. You just can't waste their time.